All right, greetings, my friends. Happy Saturday. Thanks for stopping by. So let me show you what I'm doing here to get by till my new solar comes in. I've always had this folding Renogy panel, and I have hardly ever used it, but I kept it just in case something happened. So I have changed the plug on it to a Anderson connector, just for easy, plug and go. Got me a long wire on it that's wrapped in some heavy rubber coating. And I've got it wired into this Renogy Voyager controller that they sent me as a replacement after the original controller for this panel failed. So I've got it hardwired into the battery, and let's let it cycle through. 2.1 amps coming in on a cloudy day off a 100-watt panel. Not too shabby. Oh, and that duct tape, that's not bare wires under there. It was just a spot where the thick rubber did not meet, so I wanted to protect the wiring under there. But you've seen these little connectors before, right? They just plug right together. I know them as Anderson plugs. I don't know what you know them as. But it's easy, just plug them in, unplug them. You don't have to worry about those MC4 connectors. So that's my setup. Let's let that cycle through. 2.2. Bring it on. It's an overcast day. We're getting remnants from the tropical storm coming up from Alabama. 13.1 at the charger. And I think it's 12.8 at the battery. Let's see. Yeah, so 12.8. These charge controllers are charging. I'm only getting about half an amp through 200 watts. That shows you these panels suck. Let me show you. What? Oh, 33 Celsius. 0.2 amps through that 200 watt system. You hear that? 0.2 amps through a 200 watt system. And this panel on the ground over here is doing 2.2 amps. Okay, so now you see what I'm talking about. Let's check this one. .3 amps through a 200 watt system. So I'm getting less than 1 amp through this lousy 400 watt system. Yeah, I'm in the shade, but still, you see where I'm going with this. That's why I'm replacing the panels. So if these panels on the roof were functioning properly, and I was parked out here where this panel is, I would be bringing in 8 amps, not less than 1 amp. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. 13.2 volts at the charge. That's not resting, that's charging. So if I was to unplug everything, I think the resting voltage would actually be about 12.6. And the way you do that is you turn off all your appliances, unplug your solar, let your batteries rest for 4 hours, and then you can get an accurate voltage. This is a really good charge controller. It's very simple, it's waterproof. It's way better than the charge controller that comes with this panel. It failed on me. I called Renogy, and after, I guess, 5 calls and 3 hours of conversation, I finally got them to send me a replacement charge controller. And they never did send me the wiring that goes from the charge controller to the batteries. I had to come up with that on my own. Yeah, that never ever came in, even though they kept telling me they were going to send it. So yeah, I am not a fan of Renogy. However, they do have some pretty good products, just not a fan of their customer support, I guess. All right, so tell me what you think about this. See that MaxxAir fan hanging out the window there? What do you think about me doing the same thing in the other door? Two MaxxAir fans. Think that make any difference? I'm kind of thinking it would. I'm thinking about doing that. Just removing that glass, putting in some diamond plate aluminum, and mounting another fan in there just like I did the first one. Tell me what you think about that. Check it out. Now it's on 2.7 amps. I'm bringing in 2.8 on an overcast day out of 100 watts of portable panel. These are fantastic. But, you know, I have come to learn that these are not meant to be left out, you know, every day. Just for occasional use. Here's what happens. They delaminate, and this fabric around the edge here, it fades and it frays. So what I did with my old panel was actually rubbed caulk into it, and it stopped the fraying. But the panels got so delaminated, they still worked. The panel's still down at my father's workshop. I left it down there last time I was down there. Yeah, they still work, they just looked horrible. Remember, I used to have that portable panel mounted right on top of this cargo box. Remember that? Stayed out here all the time. I had 500 watts at one point. I had that 100 watt panel, and then I had the other 4 on the roof. But it was kind of a patchwork job, you know what I mean. Pretty much everything on this van starts out as patchwork, and I find out what's important, and I go ahead and stabilize that and make it better. But everything starts out as patchwork. I think a lot of people do that in van life, and I recommend it. I have heard of a few cases where people went out and bought $40,000, $45,000 vans, and less than a year later they're like, no, this is not for me. And they had decked out the whole van, you know, built it out. And the sad news is you're never going to get that money back, you know. So yeah, I am a proponent of just starting simple, doing your patchwork, doing what gets you by until you decide you're ready to commit. All right, so that's it for today. I appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, be well, and smash the bell.